Hello, I'm Jerry Johnson, and I welcome you to this special edition and perhaps one of the most important segments of Against the World. A corporation is defined as an artificial person or legal entity created by or under the authority of the laws of a state. In the landmark case of Hale versus Hinkle, the United States Supreme Court stated the following regarding corporations. Quote, "The corporation is a creature of the state. It is presumed to be incorporated for the benefit of the public. It receives certain special privileges and franchises and holds them subject to the laws of the state and the limitations of its charter. Its powers are limited by law. It can make no contract not authorized by its charter. Its rights to act as a corporation are only preserved to it so long as it obeys the laws of its creation." This case established the precedent for all state laws pertaining to incorporation. From this case that we just heard from the Supreme Court, we learn a corporation is a creature or creation of the state. The state is sovereign over the said corporation. The corporation is incorporated for the benefit of the public. The corporation is a state franchise. Incorporation, in fact, is a state privilege. A corporation is subject to the laws of the state. Its powers are limited by said law. It must obey the laws of its creator. And finally, a corporation has no constitutionally protected rights. When seeking peace and security, or the often touted another layer of protection, and being duped into believe that in order to be tax exempt, churches must be incorporated, which by the way is untrue. By virtue of being a church, they are already tax exempt. But many Christians often forget that there is a price to pay for state recognition, because whatever the state creates, including a corporation, it must of necessity control. As the late Dr. D. James Kennedy noted, quote, "Inherent in the power to create is the authority to override, overrule, decommission, and reconstitute," unquote. During the first 3 centuries of the Christian era, Rome demanded that all religions receive official recognition in order to exist. Accepting this recognition by Caesar was tantamount to saying, "Caesar is Lord." But the early church refused, knowing that by doing so, they would be persecuted. Jesus was Lord, and not Caesar. They knew the words of the apostle too well. Because that for his name's sake they went forth, taking nothing of the Gentiles. Though persecuted, the early church was free, unconstrained, and able to impact the culture of the Roman Empire. It did not become subordinate to its pagan rulers. Incorporated churches today in America, however, are constrained by the dictates of the God state by virtue of the myriad of laws which apply to corporations. An attorney whose law firm works with churches to help them become incorporated put forth an article in which he compared an unincorporated church to adolescence and the incorporated church to adulthood. However, a better analogy or comparison would be a church that is free or unincorporated and a state church which is in bondage to its creator. Beloved, if we really desire to see a 21st century reformation, let us declare in both our actions and deeds that Christ alone is the creator and sovereign over his body, the church, and not the state. I simply submit these thoughts for your consideration. Until next week, this is Jerry Johnson standing contra mundum against the world.